Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another Common Sense gun review. As promised in my last video, I am going to do a review on this weapon that I basically just made you stare at and listen to me ramble on the whole time during the last video. Sorry, excuse me a second. Sorry, I forgot to reset my focus. What you see before you is an AK variant pistol carbine. It has an arm brace that has been added to it. It is from Century International Arms. It is a perfectly legal, according to the ATF, addition to this weapon. It does not make this a short barrel rifle or an SBR. It does not require extra tax stamps of $200. This is a perfectly legal addition to your weapon. A lot of controversy about these, but every time you buy one of these now, you will find in the box that it comes with a letter from the ATF stating the legal interpretation that this is perfectly acceptable to put on your weapon with no additional changes. It does not change the weapon. So, what you see before you, AK 9mm. This is made by the Charles Daly Corporation, which is a variant of the Chiappa firearms, which does a lot of import weapons from Europe, from the former Eastern Bloc areas of Europe. This is, as I said, chambered in 9mm. It is a very versatile weapon, but it is also very heavy. When you think AK-47, you don't think lightweight, and this one certainly is not. I was very surprised when I picked this up for the first time at the gun shop about how heavy it really was. And it's not this brace doing it. This brace is mostly polymers. This is a giant hunk of iron. Your grip is polymer. Your foregrip assembly is polymer. Everything else in this gun is steel. It is a very well-built weapon. So what you get out of the box out of this Charles Daly PAK9, which stands for Pistol AK Variant 9mm, it comes with the weapon. It does not come with this red dot. I added that later. It comes with the top rail, two side rails if you want to add a light or other type of feature there. It has a bottom rail. And let me go into the bottom rail real quick while we're here. It's got this little hand stop, so it should help keep your hand from going in front of the barrel. But when you have a bottom rail on a weapon like this, you are sorely tempted to put a grip assembly on it. From everything I've read, go do your own research, but from everything I've read, a angled grip is perfectly acceptable on this weapon. If you put a vertical grip on it, you have just changed this pistol to an SBR type variant, and you are going to get a visit from the ATF and most likely spend some time in a federal penitentiary and be parted with some of your hard-earned money. So do not put a vertical foregrip on this weapon unless you intend to first get the $200 tax stamp paid to make this an SBR. That's just all I can tell you about it, guys. Be smart with it. But it's got a lot of rails, a lot of options. As I said, I put a red dot on it. I zeroed this thing in, and it is very wickedly accurate. But without the red dot, it's got some nice adjustable fixed iron sights on it. So right out of the box, you've got a weapon that you can use. It comes with, and this kind of upset me. It's a price tag on this was about $450. I of course got a deal on it. I worked some trades, but this weapon comes with one magazine, and the magazine they give you is a California compliant 10-round magazine. Not really practical for a device like this in the modern world, but here's the good news. It comes fitted with your magazine well that accepts standard Beretta style 92 mags, okay? The magazine they give you is a knockoff 10-round mag. Okay, this is a standard Beretta 92 mag, 15-round capacity. Sits right in there. Okay. You can also obviously get 30-round mags for your Beretta, and that is what I've got for this weapon, and it makes it quite a formidable little shooter. My local gun shop sells these 30-round stick mags in bulk. I get them for about 16 bucks a piece, so you can imagine I have built myself a pretty impressive little pistol caliber carbine with a good store of ammunition available. So let's talk about some of the features. It's like any other AK-47, guys. It's got this side rail safety. It's got that large bolt housing. It's all steel construction. The top on this, it's not exactly like an AK. It's actually a little better to where it's a fold-up. You don't have the whole assembly that comes off. The top rail just folds right up. If you've got an optic on there, you don't have to remove that. Just to clean the weapon. It disassembles just like an AK. Your bolt housing and everything is exactly the same as an AK-47. You're not going to see any surprises here if you're familiar with the Kalashnikov variant of rifle. And yeah, you can get rough with this thing. It's Mother Russia all the way. It is solid and tough. Good features about this weapon. I mean, it's like any other pistol caliber carbine. It's going to be cheap to shoot, very low recoil, good solid construction as being the AK. Charles Daly / Chiappa has a great weapon here. You can change your grip just like you can any AK-47. You know, like I said, you've got this little 4-stop here to kind of keep your hand from slipping through, but it is easily removable with one screw. Your barrel is extremely short. That's both a plus and a negative. It's a plus because it keeps the weapon very short for maneuvering. It's a negative because there's absolutely no room for error if you decide you want to thread this and put a suppression device on it, or perhaps a flash hider or something of that nature. I cannot see doing that to a weapon like this because, again, you're putting money into an inexpensive pistol caliber carbine that you don't necessarily in real life need to do. But very short barrel makes your options on the front end a little limited. I spoke earlier that this takes the Beretta 92 magazines. You can actually order from Charles Daly / Chiappa, Century Arms. You can order a piece that this pops right out of here, just like you have the standard AK mag release. I've never done this because I don't want to mess with it, but you just move this forward like you're moving an actual AK-47 mag. This piece pops right out. It is polymer, but it's a pretty rugged polymer. But you can order a piece that is exactly like this that sits right back in there. That makes this weapon accept Glock 9mm magazines. If you are a Glock person, I know all my Glock fanboys are losing their mind over that now. Slap that adapter in there, which I think is $16.99. Don't quote me on that, but it's very inexpensive. But pop that adapter in there, get you some Glock mags, standard size, or you can get the big stick magazines, and again, you're ready to rock and roll. I have never tried a drum magazine in this, but I've seen some pictures online of some that have a drum magazine. Hey guys, if that's your poison, then go for it. I would assume it would be solid enough to hold, because as I said, this is a very solid piece of polymer. It's rugged. But, you know, your mileage may vary on that. Let's see, what else about this weapon? It's got a great trigger, but again, it's an AK trigger, guys. Don't expect silk. This is Mother Russia we're talking about here, and you get you get a trigger that makes the weapon go bang, and that's really all you need to know. Recoil is very, very light, almost non-existent because of the weight of this weapon. It absorbs it like a dream. Using the pistol brace, it is perfectly legal to shoulder raise this when you're using it. There's a lot of argument about that oh, you're using it as a rifle at that point. Everything I've read from the ATF, having a pistol brace on it that is supposed to go on your arm if you decide to raise it to your shoulder and shoot, you're still not changing the configuration of the weapon. As long as you do nothing to change this brace. Don't wrap it to where it's more solid. Don't change a thing on it. And you're perfectly legal, from what I've read, to shoulder mount this thing and fire just like you would a regular rifle. It's a little awkward, especially if you're like me with big, long gorilla arms, but, you know, it's better as far as accuracy and stability than to try and, you know, pistol brace this weapon. You might as well shoot from the hip at that point. As I said, it's very accurate. Took it to an indoor pistol range. I've not taken it outdoor yet, but all the way out to the 25-yard range, I was nailing in beautiful groups once I had the red dot zeroed in. I would put it about the size of a $50, and that's on me. I was a little shaky with it, just trying to get acquainted to the weapon, but still beautiful groupings for a pistol caliber carbine with an extremely short barrel. So I don't really have anything ultra negative to say about this weapon. Is it practical? Go watch the video that preceded this one. You just want a fun plinker or maybe a home defense piece. You know, this is not a bad option whatsoever. You can have a lot of fun with this weapon. And it's a conversation starter. I spoke with the range master at the range for probably 20 minutes about this before I could even get out there and shoot. He was so enthralled with what this thing was and what it did. So it's an impressive little weapon. If you're in the market for a good pistol caliber carbine, this is very likely one of your most inexpensive ways to go if you're not really digging the AR platform or some of the other platforms out there that are kind of proprietary to certain makers. Like Taurus put out a carbine earlier, Ruger put out one. They're kind of proprietary. They're their own thing. This is as close to a full AK as you're going to get without being a full AK. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to hearing your comments, questions. Keep everything respectful and clean. And I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks, guys.